Hey, sorry. Hey. Um. I don't really know why. Well, I know, but it's not really like. I guess it's not really why I would usually start recording. It's more like just yeah, like a loneliness that's like kind of very pressing, I guess. But I think I do have some stuff to talk about that kind of been sitting on my mind, but not really in a very clear way to me. It's not like I really developed these thoughts. I've never really tried actually like arriving somewhere spontaneous with my conclusions, or with my reflections. Just like while during the recording, I usually like have like that like spontaneously just in my head, and if I reach somewhere that's I think important, then I would start recording and try to like describe the thought process and the reasons, and you know what I mean and everything. And so yeah, it's kind of hard. I think I generally like kind of struggle with like authenticity, and that like I feel like I normally have the comfort of like already having something, and having the idea, and yeah, that helps me feel like I have like an original thought, original like idea or conclusion, or insight. But I think I want to talk about ageism, like or like I mean, I want to talk about ageism. I want to like resolve it, I guess. Like it's something that I kind of confront now and then, like the anxiety I have about like the reality of aging, and that I'm no longer the age I used to be. And it's like as a kid I had this sense of like this internal like wealth almost, like I knew I had a whole future, and it's like it can only go up from here. That's how I felt, I think. Like just in terms of like my relevance and my status and appearance, and probably also like my abilities, all that stuff. That's how I felt as a kid. Even though it's like I think as time went on and I actually got older, past the age of 18, I don't know, it's like just it felt like I became so much more myself that like it's like I didn't realize how much like everything would change, um like I could like be really individualistic and really self-focused, I guess. That's how I was. I mean, that's how I am even. But I think back then it was kind of like I don't know, like something that felt more conflicted. Maybe like I'm not sure. Maybe I'm making it up. I don't know. But it's like being just like having this control over my life and stuff to a greater extent. Like it's probably an illusion. Also, like I don't think I actually have that much control, but at least having the option to like not always be following the roles and like always feel like like the environment is like imposing itself on me and telling me who I am, and just like this nonstop feeling of like I'm so small. I mean, I'm like small, and like there's almost like this moral kind of thing of like it's like I felt guilty for like not going along with the environment's like demands for me to be small. Like I felt guilty and afraid like for the way I felt like people were reacting to me and kind of disliking me, partly because I mean it's I don't know exactly like why, of course, like I mean I don't know exactly why or like exactly how things could have been different, and for what reason and all that, but to me in my head it was like I refuse to be like everyone else, so that's why, and like I choose to like have this pride, and that's why like people didn't like me kind of thing. Yeah, like there's this, I guess there was this sense that like the bad things were like in terms of like like how I maybe maladjustment was like self-imposed and stuff. And even and I think like after becoming an adult, it's like people like yeah, I have more freedom to just like curate who I listen to and what kind of like ideas I want to surround myself with, I guess. You know, I don't always have to listen to like adults and teachers who like just like I don't know, like I just remember like having this teacher back then in high school, like who said like he thinks that he should be allowed to hit us, and like that's the kind of thing that's like it sounds so ridiculous right now. Like I'm like thinking like I could have just ignored him, right? But that kind of stuff really like got under my skin. It's like because a part of me like wondered if I would actually be doing better if like I might be physically punished by people, and yeah, like that was like a really just um anyway, sorry, but yeah, it's like ever since I had, became adult, had, left that kind of default state environment that, like, I think most school aged minors, or like teenagers or children, or like older adolescents. But once I left that environment, it's like my whole environment just like became kind of an extension of me. I felt in some way, like it's like this like heaviness, and like this like just like there was nothing out there, and it was so empty. I mean, not empty, but it's like everything was so like filled with the way I do things by default, and the way I kind of conserve energy and like skip certain like I just do sorry, everything in like an unstructured and instinctual way. And I think that kind of I felt like it almost like gave me some kind of brain rot. And so like it's like, and I think at this point it's like I'm just so out of contact with that sense of like whatever I was imagining or thinking there could be when I'm on my own. And I don't know, like it's almost like I think I just thought of this, but it's like maybe everything that the negative things that I projected onto the adults and the unpleasant environment was like parts of me, and like now I just live with them, and I try to ignore them, but they're also like there, and like kind of, I guess, something I resist, even though it's like almost reminding me like you could be like working so much harder right now, or you could be so much more put together right now. I don't know, like it's something like that. And or like that's kind of my best attempt at capturing the thing. And sorry, like at this point it's like, I don't know, like I was gonna talk about ageism, but like I already, I think, have this like very instinctual idea of like what each age means, and like how somebody like it feels to me like instinctually like the childhood, like maybe 1-year-old to like I don't know, like just like early childhoods, like I mean like before puberty is like kind of a unpleasant but also like easy phase. Like I shouldn't say easy, like, but that's kind of how I think. And like after that it's like kind of mildly euphoric, like getting better, and after 18 it's like peak, just like super great. And then like afterwards, like late 20s is kind of like, oh no. And and then it's just like downhill from there. So like I think it's kind of like like ageism thing, and because like that's obviously kind of unsustainable like way to feel. I mean, like when you're a kid it's fine because it's like oh, it's never gonna come. Like sorry, like my childhood just felt so endless, and So almost in a way, like thinking that like, just like not having a single care about like aging eventually was like uh almost like a coping mechanism, because, or like, it would, there was no like sense of this is denial or something. It was just kind of an extension of that, like my childhood is endless and I have no autonomy and that kind of thing. Um, uh, yeah. Where was I? Sorry. Yeah. So, it's obviously like unsustainable, and even though it's so easy for me to like fixate on that sense of like, it's so potent. It feels so like so self-evident almost. It feels so given that like, I would feel this way about, like the reality of aging, and like, and how I'm gonna lose value and everything's gonna suck. um, and I'm gonna hate how I look in the mirror, and I'm gonna like just feel the the grief of like never looking the way I want to again, and yeah, or just like feeling like I'm just gonna look worse and worse, and you know, yeah, it seems so like self-evident. I mean, it feels so self-evident, like just like using my fast thinking, like instant kind of judgment, I guess. And yeah, so it's like this ageism thing that I think I want to resolve. I don't exactly know how. I mean, I know that like culture and like society itself is like, it's older people, like they have fewer options to like access connections and like current events, or participate in what's considered like relevant or important, or like cutting edge, or I don't know, just like a part of things, and a part of progress maybe. And I think there's that level of things where like the culture is like responsible for the culture, and I guess like the how things are done in society is like responsible for this the grief of aging, and yeah, like I think a lot about that, because I mean, I think about like just I don't know, like to me it's just so like almost scary, like just not being able to do anything, and knowing that it's irreversible, and like and just like looking at the end of a dark tunnel or something. But I mean, there is one kind of facet of things that I think would be interesting to, in terms of like where it can like be readily like deconstructed for to make thing to improve like the ageism problem, and I think that's partly to do mainly the how attraction is like assumed to work. Yeah, I sometimes this is something that like has been kind of frustrating for me, because I mean, I just see myself like comparing pictures of like someone when they were younger, and I find myself like just like by reflex like feeling, well, they really looked better when they were young or something, and to me that's like difficult, like a difficult thing, because then it's like I already have like proof or evidence that like this is the truth, I guess. And yeah, I also think about how like attraction is like talked about, like there's this like kind of hierarchical kind of side to this, yeah, hierarchical like sorry, sort of frame that like people talk about attraction in general, like yeah, like very much like has like a set idea of like what constitutes like someone that's desirable, and one of those things is like youth, and I mean, for me, I think, I mean, I just want to pull up this like this talking point like a bit, because I think it's gonna help. Yeah, there's some other point I want to make, that so I'm using this, but I'm thinking like sorry, I'm thinking like, you know, if I was to like look at someone who's like, I guess, considered like conventionally attractive, and you know, in all the conventional ways, and I feel a certain way if I'm attracted to them, and like I might like look at somebody who's older, or like yeah, just like not conventionally attractive, and I felt I might like sense that I can't have the same feelings of attraction to like the non-conventionally attractive person, and yeah, there's this like, you know, I can't transplant that feeling, and so that kind of becomes like a kind of, that kind of feeds into the binary of like, should I say binary, but this kind of logic of like there's like just to take one metric, youth, like young is attractive and old is unattractive, and so because I feel this way towards the younger person, and I feel that way and I can't feel the same way towards the older person, then it's like proof that like how I feel towards the younger person is like desire and attraction, and that's what I feel towards that younger person, or like conventionally attractive person. That is the definition of like that is what attraction is, or like that is what desire is. Yeah, like so it kind of gets organized and like into like divided, like not only is there like the absent a different sort of way of reacting to two different people, or like two different images of people, but there's also like a definition of like what attraction and desire are, and like who it's for, kind of thing. Yeah. And I think, yeah, like that's kind of, I think like the way, like just like the tons of like cliches of like what, like, in dating, I don't know, like dating discourse, like, or whatever it is, like, this idea of like a high value person, of like, you know, if it's a guy, like, like lean and like muscular and like facial hair and like not bald and like, full set of hair and sorry, and yeah, like 6 feet tall, or all that stuff, and sorry, yeah, like, sorry, oh fuck, yeah, yeah, like there are like so many cliches, like fuck, and that like but like it's like these things, like they exist as like in like legal jargon or something, like I don't know, it's like these ideas are just like it's like they're like rules on the list, or like, sorry, or like clauses on like a legal document or something. It's like yeah, and fuck, what was I gonna say? But like sorry, yeah, it's just like very like disembodied, I guess, sort of like ideas, and like just like not super useful and not super adaptive, and like so I think like there can be like a decoupling of like aging and like desirability, and decoupling of like desirability from like how like the instinctual reactions to like someone who's perceived as conventionally attractive, or like high status or something. We can decouple the reaction to that, like to status and to beauty, I don't know, just like status, I would say. Decouple that from like desire, yeah, like the definition of desire, or like attraction, and also like decouple yeah, like if we decouple that, like, and allow for allow attraction to just be its own thing, like and like kind of humanize love, I guess, or like intimate relationships as like actually like lived things, and like yeah, like just like depoliticize it. I don't know, like I'm just trying to like put it into words. And I think like just like, you know, like deconstructing that whole like complex of like because like how we feel towards like this metric of like status, and it means like that's the only thing that's real, and like yeah, I don't know. I think by deconstructing that we can like fix part of, or like improve part of the anxiety about aging and like ageism and stuff.